Oh, there we go. Now we got audio. had to click it twice there. So welcome back, everybody. Another week of Up North Journal podcast. Sitting in the cabin tonight. Dan, you're in cabin south.
What's happening, everybody?
How you been doing this week, Danny?
Waiting for this weather to change.
Yeah. Okay. And on your side of town?
I think it might have changed a little bit today.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty windy.
Yesterday too, right?
Right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get some shares out of the way here real quick, and then we'll get on with tonight's show. And I can see our guests sitting in the wings, waiting here for us to kick off the show.
Right.
So
let me get my computer. Let me get the feed updated here, and I will get on it.
So we should have a good show tonight.
Gonna have a yummy show tonight.
Well, I hope. You ate yours.
I ate mine. It wasn't gonna last to the show. There's no doubt about it.
Right. Okay. Let me get this one here in, and you let me know when you're ready. Steve Denoyer is already in the house. Corey Joseph's in with us.
Awesome.
Tammy Delk, hey, what's going on? Mr. Tom Genzel is in as well. Tom worked his dog today, had her out in the field, her or him, I can't remember if it's a female or a male dog, out in the turkey woods with him. So, out enjoying some of this great weather we're having here in Michigan.
Yeah, getting outside, this warm weather, getting outside, doing what you need to do, whether you're doing outside hunting or just being outside in your yard, neighborhood, park, field, woods.
I worked all weekend. Nice. Outside, that is. I was outside all day yesterday. Got the lawn cut, worked on the lawnmower, got the oil changed, got the filter changed, got the power washer going after about 2 hours of wanting to beat the living daylights out of it. But it finally got going, and I got the back of the house cleaned and the deck and the railing for the pool all done. So
that's awesome.
So,
all right,
you all set there?
Almost.
All right. Well,
there it is. I had to find the share button.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and get our record going, and we'll kick this show off. All right, here we go. Stand by. And 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal podcast, everybody. I'm host Mike Adams, sitting in UNJ cabin north, and Danny is in cabin south. We're social distancing once again.
We are.
How's it going for you, man?
Oh, it's not going too bad. It's kind of getting old, doing the old work from home and
right.
Not getting out, or well, actually, I am getting out, but just for walks and stuff. But yeah, it's one of those things that man, I'm glad the weather looks like it's finally going to break. So
yeah, we're supposed to get some warm weather this week, I think. It's been nice here. It's been windy, but it has been nice. I will say that.
Exactly. So, with that stuff going around and turning the weather finally turning. Yeah, it's like, all right. I see people are starting to post on Facebook that birds are going down left and right. So that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping we're going to be able to get in the woods now that they've lifted some of the restrictions here in Michigan. So
right, exactly. You're looking forward to the month of May. Get this done and over with.
Right.
That way, we can kind of move on.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of moving on, let's go ahead and tell the good people some of the promo codes they can use this week to save some money.
Yeah, let's do that.
Go ahead. I'll let you kick it off.
Yeah, I will kick it off here in just one second. Okay, here we go. So, for those of you need some help with our supporters that help support us, nothing better than starting out with Hunter's Blend coffee. You know what? Great stuff to have in the morning. Any time of the day. You can have it even cold. Mike's probably drinking it.
Right here, I got it. Got my new cup,
there
too.
You go. See? So, you know what? Go on over to huntersblendcoffee.com, and when you check out, use the promo code capital UNJ, and you'll get 10% in your order when you check out.
Yep.
Another supporter of the show, Buck Bates. Go on over there, check his lineup, what he's got going on. Great company to deal with. If you go over there, you use the promo code UpNorthJournal at buckbates.com. You'll get 20% off your order when you check out. And Another one that Mike doesn't have a slide for this, but you remember a few weeks back, a month or so ago now, trips for trade. We talked with Slade. You got that outdoor venture you've been hankering to do, and he helped us out, help you guys out with a 20% off membership. So if you use the promo code UpNorth20, you'll get 20% off your yearly membership, and that's over at tripsfortrade.com.
I see what you're doing. You're saving the best for last here, right?
I am saving the best for last because Rebel 6 rubs, man, was it good. Had the Great Lakes fish rub on my salmon tonight. I would have showed you it, but I ate it.
That's no good. You ate it all. You didn't bring any. You didn't save any for us.
No, I didn't. Working with them. Go over to their website, rebel6rubs.com. If you use the promo code NorthJournal, you'll get 20% off your order on checkout.
Well, Danny, go ahead and just introduce our guest while we're talking about Rebel 6.
You know what? Speaking of that, he is on his way back from Ohio. He did some turkey hunting down there. Obviously, he went a little too far, but Matt Lemeister, on his way back from Ohio, turkeyless, correct?
Correct.
What's up with that, man? You didn't get a bird, or you didn't see any, or did somebody else shoot him out from under you?
We heard him gobbling, but we had a coyote come on at daybreak pretty much. That pretty much scared everything away. We took a shot at it, ruined our day. And during the first 2 weeks of Ohio, you could only hunt until noon. So we didn't do any PM hunting. And today, it downpoured all morning. So kind of went in at like 10 o'clock and picked up our line and stood there for an hour and then left.
Oh, man, well, that stinks. Rain and a coyote. That's one way to ruin a hunt, I guess. But at least you got out.
Yeah, that was nice.
Well, I
got out of the house for a couple days.
Our slide up here has got you in St. Clair Shores, Michigan. That's where you reside, but you're actually on the road, so you got to forgive us for that for tonight.
That's all right.
We caught you on the road, so so the signal there might not be exactly the best, but you guys get the gist of what's going on. You can hear him, you can see him, and we're going to move along as he's moving on the road back home. So
only 14 miles from Michigan.
Okay, so you're just south of the border there, heading back home. Right on.
There you go. He's almost back in Michigan. Got to give a shout out to Rob Harrell of Rebel 6. He got his turkey yesterday, and today I saw he posted a picture that he was having it for dinner. So field to fork, 24 hours, not bad.
Gotta like that.
You put it on the smoker, on the grill, and it looked delicious.
Matt,
a picture on our Instagram.
What would you use on something like that, on a bird? What kind of Rebel 6 would you put on it?
Depends what you like. We actually have a spice for it, it's called our Wild Bird. It's got a cinnamon base to it, but pretty delicious. But I like the heat, so I go with Dragon Dust.
Spice it up a little bit, kick it up a notch or two, I see.
Yeah, you never have it not hot enough.
There you go. I know Dragon Dust is one of my favorites. I use that on just about everything.
You and me both.
You know what, Matt? Isn't it great? You must have a fan club or something, because Corey Joseph is on tonight's show, and he's just here to pick on you.
Yeah, that's normal. From Minnesota, so we allow that there, I guess.
Well, Danny, you fixed something special this week, or actually you're supposed to fix it and bring it on the show. You already ate it, so explain to us what you fixed, how you fixed it, and what you used on it.
Okay, so in anticipation of the show tonight, to get into the mood for the show, to be on there with Matt, and to get the flavor going and everything, we decided to have some salmon with some broccoli. So I was like, well, I got some Great Lakes fish rub, and it goes good with butter, right?
Right.
So I put it in I baked it, so I put it in the pan, melted some butter over it, put the seasoning right on top, gave it a good 15-minute cook, and popped it out, temped it with my thermometer, made sure it was above 145, and guess what? It was delicious. Not gonna lie.
But you
Anything
didn't.
on the broccoli?
Okay, so so I had the broccoli, and I'm looking at my remnants in my little area of my dish, and I'm like, wow, I got to mop it up with the broccoli. Is what I did with the butter and the fish rub.
And
Not a bad idea.
It was good.
you know,
Try that next time.
Rob. See, I told you I was going to call you Rob before
did
the show was over. I didn't even get through the first segment. Matt, is that something that you see a lot more of now? People using these rubs, not only just on the meat, but they're putting them on their side dishes or on their vegetables.
Yeah, kind of started off with a base of wild game fish, but it turned into my everyday, and then I put it on potatoes, popcorn, vegetable, you name it, and I tried it, and it all goes together somehow or another.
You know, that's kind of the way I've been experimenting with the ones I've got. It started out with putting them on, you know, the meat that I was cooking. And then I think it might have been at a show that we were at. We saw you and Rob there. And I don't know if it was you or him that said something about popcorn. And I started trying it on popcorn. And I went from the dragon dust to trying the whitetail on it. I've used the wild boar rub on it, the wild duck, or the wild fowl or bird seasoning on popcorn. I've tried 4 or 5 different ones, and then I started experimenting with the different side dishes as well. If I put it on the meat, then I started putting it on the different dishes side dishes that I had. And you're right, it seems to go with just about everything.
It's nice, the blends, they're all mixed together already, so it's kind of like putting one bottle next to you using it instead of taking 7 from your cupboard. You got to go less space in the cupboard for 7 seasonings instead of one bottle.
Yeah, the other night we had some pork chops, and I had the wild boar rub, and this is what I was going to fix tonight. Actually, I was going to do some baked beans, but I texted my wife, and she'd already left work and was on her way home, and she didn't stop and get them for me. But that's what I was going to fix for the show tonight, because I had them earlier in the week, and like I said, we did the pork chops, the baked beans, and the broccoli, and I put that on everything. And when I put it in the baked beans, stirred it in and heated them up, and let that just kind of all simmer together. When I ate those beans, it was amazing at what it did to the beans. I mean, it kicked it up a little bit, but that sweet flavor added with it, it was incredible. It's something new that I'm going to be doing to baked beans from now on.
If you like the sweet, you should probably try sweet bear on that one.
Well, that was going to be the next one. Yeah, exactly. You know, I got to break that one out. I'm working my way with different dishes with each bottle, trying something a little different each time. And you know, and like Danny, you said you put you mopped it up with the broccoli.
I did.
I put some of that on my broccoli, and it was amazing.
That was awesome. And Matt, we got a question for you. First of all, before we go any further, we're talking Rebel 6 rubs. You go over to rebel6.com and you can check out all the varieties that they do have. But one of the questions we got from Steve DeNoyer is, do you have a blackening seasoning?
Yeah, that's our coastal fish rub. It's our coastal for like your body, what we use with chicken, and add some blackening style rub from us.
Okay, so you use the coastal fish rub, and then you could blacken it. Steve, there you go. Get it on that salmon, sear it, and see how you like it.
Yep.
It looks like Rob Harrell said he's fixing to call in and crash the party here, so he's watching. Probably sitting back enjoying some more of that turkey that he got earlier in the week.
I think he was. He smoked it and then put it on the grill to finish it off, and then he was enjoying it. But that's awesome. So you know, you're talking about fishing. You're out turkey hunting now, but fishing along the fishing seasonings that you do have, being here in the Great Lakes state, I'm sure the Great Lakes fish rub, which I use, was just awesome. And what's like your favorite type of fish to use a rub on?
Walleye. My freezer's full of walleye. That's probably one of my favorites. Butter, the Great Lakes rub. That's all I got to cook it with. No frying, no nothing. Butter, Great Lakes.
Now the Great
I tell
Lakes
you what.
rub, would that be good like on perch, some bluegill, crappie,
Oh, yeah.
any fish that we would catch here in Michigan probably?
Your panfish, your perch. Yeah, I put it on any place. I put it on swordfish. I put it on salmon. I put it on your bigger mahi-mahi fish, grouper.
Now what about trout? Somebody that's maybe trout fishing here in Michigan and they catch some and they're going to do something on the stream side, what would they use?
I've never done trout, but I know our other partner Willie. He does a Midwest fish on trout, which goes really well.
Okay, all right.
No, that's awesome. And that gives you variation through all the different fishes that we have out there. They've got several selections of their rubs that you can give it a try. Give it a Great Lakes fish on something, or if you're looking, coastal fish, if you're thinking, and switch it up a little bit. Midwest fish, those three alone just gives you a vast variety of what you want to put it on.
And you don't have to use it like they're named for a certain species or a certain type of meat, I guess it would be. But like I said, that coastal fish on chicken, it's funny.
Well, you sent us some pictures here. I'm going to throw the one up here. We got some salmon here. Describe this dish a little bit here and what you guys used on that. On the salmon that you got, the picture that you sent us.
Salmon?
Yeah.
I don't remember what I put on that. Let me look real quick.
Okay. It looks like you got some broccoli and maybe some potatoes there with it.
Yeah, sweet potatoes and the broccoli. I did all the same thing at all of them, but Midwest fish I put on all that.
Okay. So you're using the Midwest fish, something like that.
When I did with the sweet potatoes, I did sweet bear with like a butter glaze, and then I just threw it on the grill.
Okay. So you're not necessarily using the same rub on the same meal. You're using a variety of rubs.
I mix it up as much as I can. I can eat it every day, but I want to see what I can play with and all different kinds of things for other people to notice what we actually use our seasoning for.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's awesome. See, you give your mouth just a variety of flavors to try. So,
yeah.
Hey, Matt, we're gonna go to a break here for our first segment. Why don't you tell everybody where we can go to find Rebel 6 Rubs?
You can head over to www.rebel6rubs.com or check us out on Instagram at Rebel6Rubs.
And don't forget to use the North Journal promo code for 20% off your order. So while you're over there,
exactly.
So that way you guys can get a deal. All right, I tell you what, we're going to step outside, take our first break. We come back, we'll continue the conversation as Matt is heading back home from Ohio. We'll be right back after this. All
right, folks. Good question, Steve. If anybody else got any questions, or if you just want to ding Matt like Rob would, I'm sure he just wants to crash the party. Get us the questions. We'll ask them. Corey liked the comment about being from Minnesota, I guess. Oh yeah, Tim, you're right. Mike likes it on the popcorn, no doubt about it.
Absolutely. Yeah. That must be Tim C.S. I saw he was on to. We got a lot of people in the cabin tonight.
Yeah, we got Billy Hoffman.
Hey,
Hunter and him are out in the turkey blind right now.
Billy, you're not supposed to have the volume up unless you got earbuds in. And if you got earbuds in while you're watching this, then that means you can't hear the turkeys. So come on, man. All right, here we go. Stand by in 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back. Second segment of the show. Guest is traveling northbound, 75, I would assume.
Have you made it to Michigan yet?
Yep. Almost. We're like 3 miles out.
Okay, because when he hits Michigan, you're all going to tell, because the car is going to start violently shaking up and down, and his hat's going to go flying off.
Because the roads stink.
Sure.
That's the truth, man. The roads here stink.
Right, exactly. But you know what? The first segment we talked about using fish, basically any kind of fish. You can use one of the 3 rubs that Rebel 6 does have to offer for the fish. Let's go over to our typical Michigan whitetail. Give us a little handy dandy what you would use on a Michigan whitetail steak or some back straps or something like that you would use to season it.
Like I said before, I like spicy, so I go with our spicy whitetail for everything. But our elk rub is probably one of our top sellers and probably one of my favorites also.
Now the elk rub, what's the difference between the elk rub and the spicy white? Is it just the difference in the spiciness of it?
No, they're both different. They both have different blends, but your spicy has your peppers instead of the elk does not.
Okay, right on, gotcha. You know,
they're both kosher salt based.
Okay.
But one is.
Now, okay, so we've got our back strap. Let's say whether it's whitetail or elk, doesn't matter, and we're going to put a rub on it, whichever one we choose. When we take that out of the freezer, we thaw it out, and then we get it on a platter or whatever we're going to do to take it to the grill to grill it. At what point do you put the rub seasoning on? How do you put it? Do you just sprinkle it on, or do you actually rub it in, or do you put a fork or tenderizer to the meat and pound it into it? I mean, what is the preferred way of putting that spice on that meat to get it to infuse into it?
I've done it two different ways. I've actually rubbed it on, let it marinate for overnight, or I've actually just sprinkled it on just to run the grill.
Okay, so
I go for sprinkling's probably the easiest, fastest, but you still get the same flavor through the meat that I get when you said marinate for 24 hours.
Okay, so if you're gonna put it on the grill, do you put it on one side and then put that side grilled down, or do you put the meat on and let it start cooking, sprinkle the side up, and then flip it and sprinkle the other side?
I season the whole thing and throw it on.
Okay, right on. Just trying to figure out the master chef's preferred choice of putting the seasoning on. You know, when we do burgers, I'll throw them on the grill real quick. I'll sprinkle them all down and immediately flip them over and then sprinkle the other side before it starts to really cook in. That way.
I do a lot of sous vide too.
A lot of what?
Sous vide, cooking in water basically.
Okay.
But I vacuum seal my meat or fish with like butter and the seasoning, and then I'll throw it in the sous vide for 6 to 7 hours and let it cook to medium rare, and then throw it on a grill to give it a nice sear.
Ah.
Oh, nice.
I've not heard that before. That's different.
You know what? Rob does mention here that speaking of you're coming back into Michigan, the Michigan Welcome Center in Monroe has a display of all Michigan-made products. And matter of fact, they have the Rebel 6 rubs in the showcase.
Nice.
That they do. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, got another question for you.
All
right. It comes from my sister-in-law. Out of all your spices that you would use on venison, which one would be the least spicy? He's not a fan of spicy.
I'd go with sweet bear.
Sweet bear.
If you like a little sweet, wild boar would probably be your go-to, I think.
There you go, Diane. So when you fix one for Terry, try one of each.
There you go. You got the sweet one, and Rob also throws in there. You try the elk. So either one, get it out.
Elk
and,
too, yeah.
You know what? Actually, try them all, because what you think somebody likes really spicy to them isn't, but then somebody else is really spicy, but yet the variety of all your spices that you have, obviously with the exception of dragon dust. Yeah. Okay. So try them and see. You actually might like one that's a little bit a different type of spice.
There you go. Absolutely.
That's correct. Yeah, all 9 are all different, so there's a difference in each one. They're all not the same, so you'll get different flavors out of each bottle.
You know, we were talking about fish just a minute ago. I want to back up just a little bit because I just thought of something. A guy I work with, he cooks a lot of salmon. Danny, you cook salmon today, right?
Cooked it today.
Okay. Danny, you baked yours, right?
I baked it today, yes.
Okay. A guy I work with, he likes to do his on the grill. And if we're going to do something on the grill and season it with some of the Rebel 6, have you ever cooked on cedar planks?
I have not, but I really want to start doing it.
Okay. And the purpose of that is, I mean, he's tried to explain it to me a little bit, but, you know, from your standpoint, why would somebody choose to cook on a cedar plank versus on tin foil or right out on the open grill?
It's almost kind of like smoking it from what I've been reading on. You get that cedar flavor into your meat.
Okay. So it takes that
Almost like that.
it infuses it.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, he told me that you can use them for.
I've only done a little bit of reading on it, but yeah, it's something I want to get into and start trying to use.
Okay.
We'll have to get some cedar planks and try it.
Is there anything else that people are using now to cook on? I mean, that they'll put on the grill. I mean, I've seen some of these things where they put this copper thing down and they'll cook on that. But I mean, what are some of the things that you've tried other than just an open grill that would be good for some of the rubs that you put on the meat?
I've done, like I said, the sous vide. I've cooked over open fire, and then grill or smoker is only really 4 options I've ever done. I've never put any kind of anything underneath that over on the grill. The best way to get that flavor from the grill itself.
Okay. Yeah, and I know another big thing that's been a hot topic of late is people using cast iron, like a cast iron skillet, especially probably cooking fish. I would imagine would be a big hit for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Or
You know, and Rob gives you a little tip here about using cedar planks. He says soak the cedar planks first.
just in water.
It adds the smoke. It adds the smoky flavor without using smoke.
Oh, okay, right on. Well, I know that we touched here on iron skillet, but actually I've got a picture here that I want to show. This, to me, this egg sandwich that you guys made, this breakfast sandwich, to me was looks pretty tasty. It looks better than anything you can find down the street, I can tell you that.
I tried.
Is this one of your creations?
Yes, it is. I found an old mason jar lid, did my egg in that to make it nice and round. And then I had venison sausage, breakfast sausage,
Okay.
and some hot sauce.
Well, I know there's got to be Rebel 6 in there somewhere. Dragon Dust?
Oh, yeah. Well, yes, I use Dragon Dust and Midwest Fish.
And Midwest Fish.
You know what? Speaking of that, looking back here, Billy Hoffman uses sweet bear rub on eggs. So
it seems like a lot of these things that you can just interchange so many of these different rubs with and come up with a whole different flavor scheme for just the same dish over and over,
Yeah, you could.
Yep.
Steve Orr just ordered the mix and match 4-pack. Good deal, Steve. Appreciate you going over and checking them out. So you guys, you got one of the viewers has already went over and placed an order this evening.
Awesome. Good to hear.
So I tell you what, we're bumping up on our second break here. Why don't we take a step outside? We've got a recipe that I want to go over with you that you sent to us and show the people. So we're going to save that here for the next segment. We're going to step outside, take our break, and we'll be right back after this. All right.
Man, even though I ate I just ate over 2 hours ago. I'm getting hungry again.
You're hungry again, yeah.
And that's one of the things when you get these rubs, man. You just put it in your hand and you just do it, to get a taste of it. But that's one taste. But then when you start adding it onto the different other items, it's like you said, sprinkle it on your broccoli or something like that. Man, It just changes the dynamic of everything, which is kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and even cook with the sweet potatoes. You go to Texas Roadhouse and get that sweet butter that they put on their loaded sweet potatoes. Almost the same thing.
All right, here, let me get this one.
And ours is a little healthier.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, get those vegetables in there for sure. Got to be a little healthy there.
Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back, third segment of the show. you know, sitting here talking a little bit in the break, you know, a good point that you guys both just touched on. Putting this stuff, the seasonings on vegetables. When you start incorporating more vegetables into your diet, it's healthier for you. You know, and you know, Danny and I, we're picking on this kick here of getting in better shape and losing weight and all that, and just trying to make ourselves healthier. What better way to do it than with some good food and spicing it up with some of the different seasonings you guys offer as well?
Absolutely. You know what? Absolutely.
You know, before we went to break, we were talking about another dish that you prepared, and you were so gracious as to send us a nice picture of this first off, and then an ingredients list and cooking directions. So this is the chili right here prepared, and then here's a platter with all the ingredients nicely plattered and ready to go. So we've got the recipe here and the ingredients, and it's just text over black. So when I put this up, if you want this recipe, we're going to make it available on our Facebook page, or at some point go back, mark this time on the show, go back, freeze frame it, and then write it down. So there's going to be multiple ways you can get this. But Matt, why don't you go ahead and just run through the chili here for us, and the ingredients and what you do with it and what it's like.
Yeah, a quick 2-man chili, so quick and easy. It takes about 25 minutes to cook. But yeah, I use our Dragon Dust and our spicy whitetail in it. You could use whatever you really want, depending on the flavors that you really want to work with. But yeah, it's trying to find my word file.
Well, the list here, the one thing you got in here that kind of caught my eye was the black beans. Instead of kidney beans, you got black beans in this in the ingredient list, and to me, that's something that I've been using a little more of lately. And I got to imagine the chili, that kicks it up a little. It gives a little different flavor than just your average kidney bean.
Yeah, especially using the liquid from it too.
Okay.
Kidney or black beans are a little healthier too, so I try to go healthy as possible. I got a 8-month-old at home, so
right.
Baby-led weaning, so she's eating all the foods we're eating right now.
Right.
So I'm trying to be healthy with everything I cook.
I gotcha. So right here we got the whole ingredients list, and then I'm going to pop down here to the next page here, and you've got the cooking directions. So you put everything together here. Clean, halve, peel, and dice the onion. Clean the jalapeno. When you say clean, are you talking about just basically washing it and then taking and cutting it up? You're not.
Yeah, wash it, dry it.
Okay. Gotcha. So and take the seeds out, obviously, for less heat if you want to tone it down a little bit. Heat a large drizzle of oil in a pot over medium-high heat. Add the onions and the minced jalapenos. Add a pinch of salt and pepper. Cook for 5 to 7 minutes. Then you add the ground meat with some Rebel 6 spicy whitetail, of course, and some Rebel 6 Dragon Dust, of course, and cook for 4 to 6 minutes. Stir in your tomato paste and cook for another 1 to 2 minutes. Add roasted diced tomatoes, beans, and liquid stock, and a 1/4 cup of water. Bring to a simmer and cook for 8 to 10 minutes uncovered. So, you know, looking at this, something I really didn't realize is you just don't dump everything in a pot and just turn it on the stove. You cook part of it, and then you cook a little more of it, as it kind of works its way through.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically when you're caramelizing the onions a little bit, you're getting everything a little more tender for eating, and then more flavors get built into everything when you're cooking with it.
Okay. I've always just thrown everything in a pot all at one time and cooked it. I guess that's not the way to do it. See, I've learned something tonight.
There you go. See?
So, Danny, when we're going to make some of this up?
You know, exactly. We need to make some of this up. And also, just remember, folks, when you're dealing with the Dragon Dust and how spicy that is, you might want to start off, depending if you're not a spicy type person. Don't add a lot.
Yes.
Add as you go. You can leave that on the table, right?
Correct.
I put that on popcorn. My bottle's almost completely gone now. I love hot stuff, but whew, I tell you what, yeah, you don't just dump it on there. You got to start small with it and work your way into it and learn where your threshold is before you cross it over.
Exactly.
'Cause if you do, if you dump it in there, you could, whatever you're cooking, if it's too hot for you, then obviously you're not going to eat it. So just be careful.
You know what? We got a question for you, Matt. Rob Harold answered it already on online, but we want to know what your take is of what is the mild bird rub like. What's your description of it?
Guys, you broke up. Repeat that.
The mild bird rub. What's your description of how that tastes?
It's a cinnamon base, so we had our fried turkey today, and it kind of almost tastes like a cinnamon, like the cake that you get from a fair.
Okay.
Like an elephant ear. Is that what they're called? Yeah, elephant ear.
Yep.
But yeah, it's got the cinnamon taste, so it's the cinnamon base. So.
Well, Rob's got a good description of it here, and that's kind of the way I've imagined it as well, is that it tastes like Christmas. It's got that.
I would have to agree with him on that one.
Like I said, I put that in my spaghetti the other night, and that cinnamony, nutmeggy taste, or flavor palette with it. It kind of gives you that almost Christmassy type. I don't know if you can say you can taste Christmas, but if you try it, I'm telling you, you'll understand what we're talking about. And like you said, I think it's that cinnamon and the nutmeg flavor style that it has. But with the pasta and the sauce, man, it was awesome. It mixed right in with it, and it was good. I mean, like I said, it's hard to describe, but it was really good.
So there you go, Diane. There's your two people, gave you their opinion, but you should get some and try it out and see if my brother likes that one.
Man, I think what everybody ought to do is just go over to the Rebel 6 website and just get a bottle of everything.
Right?
I agree.
And put it in your spice cabinet, and that way, just start. And really, that's what I've done. I've started working through the different flavors of these with different dishes and experiment. I mean, it's every week it's an experiment. I'm always experimenting with something different and trying something different. And I really haven't found anything yet that I'm like, that didn't taste good. It just didn't go together. It's everything. I'm careful with what I use, but everything I have used has been great. It's added and enhanced everything that I've done. So.
Well, with this quarantine thing going on, I've been trying a lot of different things. I actually made brownies the other day with maple syrup, dragon dust, and a brownie pat.
Brownies with dragon dust.
Yep.
Okay, I gotta ask. And what did it taste like?
It was like a sweet heat almost, because I put that maple syrup in it. But yeah, it was the chocolate and the heat. It was two things that I didn't think would work together, but it worked out great.
A sweet heat. I like the combination. Have you ever tried that with something else like that? Any other sweet foods?
No, I haven't, but I'm going to start, because I was too afraid to try anything like that, but I'm experimenting more and more as I play with like the dirt stuff. I
don't remember where it was at. I don't remember who said it, but it was something to do with, it may have been a cooking show. I mean, I work at the TV station, and we're always running, I won't say which show, but in the morning there's a cooking show on our station every morning. And it may have been on that. And it was mixing spicy seasonings with like chocolates or sweet candies and things like that. And they said that's kind of the new combination that people are really starting to gravitate towards. So I guess I could see the brownies with maple syrup and the dragon dust. I guess I could see that. Danny, I think we need to go down and have him cook some up for us and check them out.
Well, I tell you what, Diane, absolutely. You can cook for us anytime. We'll eat. Trust us, we'll eat. Diane says the brownies sound fabulous. She also just ordered the 4-pack and a bottle of the mild bird. And yes, Tammy Delk, if you go to the website, rebel6rubs.com. They do have a flavor description on each one. You just click on the one. It'll give you a kind of a little description of what you're going to taste, and you can check them out.
And don't forget to use the North Journal promo code.
And use the promo code. That's right.
You know, I've got that slide up right now. You guys got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different rubs. Is that right?
9 different flavors.
9 different flavors. Okay, must be one there that's in there twice.
Hopefully we'll have a new flavor soon. We're having been experimenting with a taco seasoning. So
okay,
we're working on that for our next rub to come out.
Okay, there you go. So you heard it here first, guys, gals. Something new coming out possibly. Hey, what kind of time frame are you guys thinking about?
Hopefully the next 3 months.
Okay, by the end of the summer then, hopefully.
Yep.
There you go. You know, and that's awesome. And Ken Sakuna, one of our own, and he recommends the elk rub on backstraps.
Ken's been the little creative chef here lately. I've seen him posting a lot of stuff with Rebel 6 rubs on it. So I know he's been experimenting a lot with the different flavors. You know,
absolutely.
And like you said too, with everybody kind of being quarantined right now, or people staying at home a lot more than what normally they are. What better time to get some stuff and just play around with some different foods and try some different things and see what you like.
I agree. After this quarantine over, we can do a little cookout.
I like that. Yeah, maybe we get our bows, get together, get a target. Maybe have a few soft drinks and have something meat cooking on a grill somewhere. Whether it be,
we can almost do like a guy's grocery games. We put a bunch of ingredients on board and we'll shoot the board and start cooking.
I like that idea. That sounds like fun. That really does.
Exactly.
And I think for at least you and me, Matt, I think we both are probably shooting for the dragon dust and forcing everybody else to spice their palate up a little bit. I like that idea. So that's
awesome. You know what? And Buck Bates even says, highly recommended. Good stuff.
It's a Michigan company. Buck Bates, another Michigan company. That's what I'd like to see our local companies. And right now, let's kind of step into the arena. We talked about the quarantine and everything. I really don't want to bring the show down to that point yet. But with everything that's going on, are you guys seeing? Is the sales of everything, are they going up? Are they staying about the same? How are you guys doing right now with the quarantine stuff?
Our sales have actually gone up.
I would think
Everyone's growing. They got nothing else to do.
Well, that's what I would think. That's what we've done. We fired the grill up a little early this year and thrown a lot more food on the grill, because we're staying home and trying to lighten things up a little bit here around the house. So I would think that, you guys would be selling more rubs.
Especially with the weather getting a little nicer, too. Everyone's getting outside. And
yeah.
No better way to do anything outside but to cook on the grill.
Okay, now, is there any place here in Michigan, for our Michigan viewers and listeners, where is there certain stores in southeastern Michigan where you guys might have your product in, or are you strictly online?
We're mostly online, but Ben's Outdoors, we're in there, and a lot of little mom and pop stores that I can. We have a list on our website that you can actually be able to look at and find out where we're all at.
Okay, so there you go. Go to the website. Another reason to go to the website, check out and see if they have it locally. That way you can just bust over and pick it up and throw it on the grill, by that afternoon.
That's definitely something we're going to try and get better on in 2020 as soon as we get out of this quarantine, is getting to more stores and more cities.
Well, that's what we like to hear. Making it available for more people to get access to it quickly. But I tell you what, we're bumping up here on our last break. Let's go ahead and we'll take our last break. We'll come back. We'll kind of wrap things up for everybody here and let them know what we got coming up here for next week. So I tell you what, we're going to step outside. We'll be right back after this.
All right, folks. This is the last segment of the show. So if you're not hungry by now, I don't know what you've been listening to, because it's getting hungry in here. And thanks, Tammy. She's going to bring the walleye and venison. Wow, to our cookout. I like it.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. You know what? It sounds like a summer picnic to me. So get your questions in. Got any for Matt? Matt's on on his way into he's into Michigan.
I'm in
bouncing
Michigan,
around.
yep, so.
Also, Rob's on the call too, watching the feed. So we're getting your questions asked. It's been a good show. It's been a hungry show.
I tell you what, I do have a question when we come back for me. So here we go. 3,
All right.
2, 1. Welcome back. Last segment of the show. If this show hasn't made you hungry enough, then you've been sitting around eating potato chips all day.
Right.
And eating other stuff and getting loaded up on food because I just got done eating a little while ago and I'm hungry again. But I got a question for you. And this goes, if Rob is still lurking around on the chat room as well, it can go for Matt or Rob or both of you. What is the strangest food that you've put Rebel 6 on and tried? Besides the brownie.
Let me think here.
I put him on the spot. He's speechless.
You did. I've done spaghetti squash. That's not really strange, but
Okay. Different.
I've done alligator once.
Okay, there you go. And what did you put on it?
I did Midwest fish.
Okay. And what did it taste like?
Chicken.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Tastes like chicken.
That's kind of what everybody says. Tastes like chicken, yeah. I've had alligator
That's
one
funny.
time, and it was just little tiny squares, like on a toothpick, like hors d'oeuvres. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got one weird one. I can't think what it was, though.
Okay.
I don't remember what it was.
Well, if you think of it, by the end of the show, you let us know. Because obviously you are the master chef that has tried everything from fishes to meats to brownies with your rubs. Now, I don't know if that's taste testing at its finest. I don't know what is.
I made corned beef jerky out of it.
Okay. Okay, Rob Harrell says the weirdest thing he's put it on is Brussels sprouts. He says, I hate Brussels sprouts and use Midwest all over it to make it palatable. Oh, that's pretty good. I know what Brussels sprouts taste like. I'm not a big fan of them, but I've eaten them. So, okay.
I guess a weird one would be my mother-in-law is a vegetarian, so I've done veggie burgers.
Okay. Were those tofu? Is that what that was made out of? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you got to do what you got to do.
To each their own.
If it takes Rebel 6 rubs to help it become palatable, you go and do it.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, you sent me these pictures here of some other food, so while we're here in the last segment, I'm going to just start popping some of them up and we can talk about them here real briefly. You got the big cheeseburger here. What did we do to that one?
Dragon dust again. I like hot, so
right.
yeah. I had a dragon dust kick for like a week.
Okay.
Yeah. Dragon dust. This is a bacon cheeseburger and some lettuce and tomato with Kobe Jack cheese.
Okay, right on. Okay, you got a flatbread dish here. Explain that one for us.
Flatbread. It's a vegetable flatbread, I guess you would say, but I added some venison to it. So it's a venison zucchini flatbread.
Okay.
With ricotta cheese base and cut up tomatoes and garlic.
Okay, gotcha. And what kind of seasoning did we put on that?
That one I used spicy whitetail.
Okay, all right. And then we got the pulled pork sliders.
Pulled pork sliders. That was wild boar I used on those.
Okay. God, those look good.
Yeah, that we put in just your slow cooker and cooked for 8 hours on slow.
Gotcha.
Just I put a beer in there and then the wild boar. Sorry.
Gotcha.
And they turned out fantastic. I made a slaw with them too. So.
Now,
And then you can't go wrong with the Hawaiian rolls.
Right. I thought that, let me pull that back up there. I want to go back to that. I thought when I looked at them, I thought those were Hawaiian rolls. They just got that look to it. Yeah. Okay. And then obviously we talked about the chili already, but man, that looks good. I love the way that looks. I can almost smell it and taste
Absolutely.
it right now. So, and,
All right.
Well,
So-
one other thing here, one other one we
go
haven't
ahead.
shown yet is the tacos. You talking about you coming up with maybe a possible taco style rub, but describe the tacos here.
Those are another dragon dust with some venison, ground venison, on a tostada, almost basically with a little pico de gallo and Mexican cheese.
Right on. Dang.
And then I mix some sriracha and sour cream together to make the sauce.
Okay, right on. And are you a chef by trade full time or what?
I am not, but when I was younger, I watched a lot of cooking shows, and my parents said I should have been a chef.
Right? I mean, the presentation on the plates alone, to me, I mean, it's like artwork. I mean, really, it is. I mean, the pictures that you sent us are fabulous.
Thank you.
I mean, they look good, and I know it tastes good, but yeah, you might want to think about opening up a restaurant or something, man. Because I tell you what, all the food looks great.
That's an idea that's been in my head for a while.
Okay, so that's nothing new to you then, huh?
Maybe a barbecue joint or something.
Right on.
Sometime in my future.
There you go. Well, I got to imagine after this quarantine's lifted and people get comfortable getting back out, restaurants is going to be one of the first things they start flocking to and trying to support the local food establishments, with everything that's been going on. At least I know.
I hope so.
That's my big push right now is once this stuff starts getting behind us is support your local mom and pop shops, support your local restaurants. I know the big fast food chains, we always stop at them on the road and stuff, but you know what, if you got some cash to spend, help out the local guys, because these are the guys that are taking it in the shorts right now. And
Absolutely.
They're going to need some help getting back and getting going again. So, get out there and give them some support. Just like Rebel 6 Rubs as well. Get over there and buy some of that too.
All right, I got to ask a question. We've heard about and we've seen about all the good things, from fish to burgers to a flatbread pizza. Okay, now there's got to be something in your trials and errors that you have tried that, yep, you did it once, you're not going to do it again.
Probably mussels.
Okay.
They're just hard to cook. They don't really take in flavor very well unless you cook them for a certain long amount of time. But I don't have time to do that.
Is that just because of the texture of the meat that they're?
Yeah, and the shell and everything. When they break open, it's just hard to get that flavor that you really want into them, I think, in my opinion.
Okay, right on.
Oh, gotcha.
What's the one thing you've tried and for the first time, and you said, I think this would be a good idea, and you did it, and you went, oh my gosh, this is way better than I ever thought it would be. It was just an absolute home run.
Home run? That pizza.
Okay.
That I could eat that every day. It was. You got your healthiness to your vegetables, and you got your venison. So and of course it's pizza. So
right on.
Can't go wrong with pizza.
No, you can't. So that's awesome. I tell you what, you guys got to go over to rebel6rubs.com. You got to check out their selection of their rubs, and you got to try them because, like we've been talking about almost an hour. You can put them on just about anything in any combination, way, shape, or form, and you will find something you like, and you'll try it. And and you'll put it on things you don't like to make it good,
like Brussels sprouts. Okay, so go ahead.
So
Dan.
there you go. Rob Harrell comment: the first taco blend that you guys ever came up with, you ditched the blend real quick and started over. It was that bad.
Okay.
That was that bad. It's hard. Taco seasoning is you don't want to be the same as everyone else, so you gotta be different.
You gotta separate yourself from the rest of the pack.
Exactly, and then you get the same flavor that someone else has, and we just couldn't have it, so we got rid of it.
Gotcha. Well, looking at the people, like we've had, people commenting tonight that's already went over to the website, made some purchases, and when they try some stuff out, let's suggest that they take a picture of whatever they make, put it on a plate, make a nice presentation with it, and take a nice picture, and tag it with hashtag Rebel6Rubs. Come over to Up North Journal and post it on our page. And I got to imagine they could come over and put it on your page as well on Facebook?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We like customers showing us everything that they cook and use, and give us, if they want to share their recipes with us, and we'll give it to everyone else to use too.
Do you see a lot of that? Are people pretty tight with their recipes?
They're pretty tight with the recipes.
That's what I thought. They don't want somebody taking them and selling them and making a restaurant out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. But there's nothing wrong with taking a picture of it and showing other people, though.
Correct.
Gotcha. That's awesome. That's a good way to get some good, honest feedback too.
See, and you were just talking about dealing with the COVID thing. My brother, they're watching the show right now in the Myers parking lot eating Cullivers on date night.
Well, see,
you could throw our seasoning on Culver's too if you really wanted to.
See, that's what I was going to say. They could put that on their burger.
Right? Yep. Exactly. So, you know what? You got to do what you got to do to watch the show. Have Rebel 6 Rubs. Richard Latandra's Rebel 6 food truck to test the waters.
There you go.
That would be very interesting and pretty fun, I think, if I could make that happen.
And you could paint it like a dragon for Dragon Dust.
Yeah, there you go.
Can you imagine having a food truck roll up at some of these outdoor shows, like over at Woods and Water or over some of the other outdoor venues you guys go to? I think there'd be a line a mile long, and just imagine how long it would be. Well, it'd be 6 miles long if we had to do 6-foot social distancing.
It'd be nice if we could just pull that bad boy right in there and have all those flavors going to town while everyone's walking around and you can just smell them inside the building.
Yeah, absolutely. It was when we saw you guys last year over at Woods and Water, and we were downwind and we could smell the cooking going on, wafting down through the causeway there. It's like, well, we know where they're at. They're right there. Just follow your nose right to the booth. So, and those shows like that's probably another good way once we get back into being able to have these types of shows. That's another good way to come up and experience some of the different flavors. Am I right?
Yeah, as soon as we're able to get these shows, I'll put a list on our website so you can see where we're going to be and come check us out.
Have you guys heard anything at all about when there might be? I mean, I know they've canceled concerts for the rest of the entire year. They said there's going to be no big crowds, but has there been any buzz or any word at all that you guys have heard on the show circuits side of things, or no?
I have not.
Okay, just wondering. Being that you were part of some of these shows, that maybe you'd heard something ahead of time.
No.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be a little while before things get back to normal.
Yeah, I think that this show season's not going to be very well.
Well, that just means we got to go out and get more game, put it in the freezer, and experiment with Rebel 6.
Exactly.
So,
I hear you, man.
Well, Danny, you got anything else there for him? We're bumping up here towards the end of the show.
I was just looking at the feed. Tammy said the Dragon Dust is sold out, but then Rob Harrell came back and said, more is coming shortly, Tammy, so she should be taken care of.
That's probably because Matt's got it all.
Well, it sounds like it.
Between him and me, because we put it on everything.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. So, but I tell you what, let's go ahead. We'll wrap up the podcast portion of the show, and then we'll chat here for a few more minutes on the live stream. So, for those of you on the podcast, tune in next week. We're 2 weeks out from Mother's Day. We're not going to be doing a podcast or a live stream on Mother's Day Sunday. That's something that we always, that and Easter. We did one this Easter just because of what's been going on, but I think this year for Mother's Day we'll hold off again as well. So next week, Danny, we got anything lined up next week?
Yeah, we do. Next week, which is going to be the 3rd, is going to be kind of an out boating show because we're going to be talking with the folks at Yamaha Marine.
Okay, and oddly enough, Governor lifted her furry slipper off the motorboat so we can get back on the water and do some fishing with the motorboat. So what good timing is that? I tell you what, that's a good deal. So we'll have Yamaha on. If everything works out, we can make contact this week, get everything lined up. We'll have them on next week. So that'll do it for the podcast portion, folks. Remember, go over to our social media pages and give them a like, give us a follow over on YouTube as well, and stop over at iTunes and give us review over there as well. That helps us out. And don't forget, go over to Rebel 6 Rubs and use our promo code over there and save yourself some money on some great, fantastic rubs. That'll do it for us this week, folks. We'll see you again next week. Okay, on the live stream, we'll hang out for a few minutes. If you guys have got anything, throw it our way.
Absolutely. You know what? He's back in Michigan. He's turkeyless, but he's willing to talk.
You know, I do like the idea about getting a cookout going and an archery shoot. That'd be fun. You know,
Yeah, I'll set that up for sure.
You know, we need all of our outdoor buddies, guys and gals, to get together. I was talking with Chris Schnurr via Facebook the other day, and I said it'd be so nice once this is over and we can get a group of people together to find some kind of venue, some place where we can set up some targets and just shoot and have fun. You know, no competition. Just get out there and get back to doing what we all love to do and hanging out with our friends.
He actually tunes my bows.
Yeah, ours too. So, yeah, he's tuned most of our bows here recently due to the fact that we lost a good friend of ours last year. So, but
Yep.
it'd just be so good to get everybody back together and hang out and just do something fun. I think everybody's just itching for it. You know, I really need it.
Yep, exactly. That would be awesome.
What better way to do that is with some food and some string and stick and string. You know what I'm saying?
Food is good.
Right. Absolutely.
Food is very good.
Anybody else got
I'll bring
anything
this-
on?
What are you bringing?
I said I'll bring the sous vide and I'll show you guys what that's all about.
Yeah, I'd like to check that out. Definitely.
Sounds good to me.
So,
All right, I think we're all set on the live stream. It seems to be pretty calm.
all right, Matt, if you'll hang with us here, we'll go ahead and we'll sign off. Just hang with us here after we sign off, and then we'll let you go. So,
No problem.
as we told everybody, you know, tune in again next week, Sunday, same time, same channel, 7 o'clock. We'll be back on Facebook. So come on over and check out. Hopefully we'll be talking with Yamaha Motors and seeing what they've got to offer as we get back on the water in the great state of Michigan. You all take care.
All right.
See you again next week.